Okay, good morning or good afternoon, maybe good evening, depending on where you're at. Um, Today we're going to be covering, this is the class 4, and we're going to be covering under the items to include. We're going to be including the family chart tab and the photo album tab. So, and then next week we'll be covering these for the primary partner and the two-child sections. And then that will complete that for the book items, and then we'll be on strictly to the preferences from then on. But anyway, so today it's the family chart and the photo album tabs under items to include on the book items tab. So the first item you'll see here is like whether or not to include the family chart. Well, what the chart is, here's like the family chart where it's at the beginning of the information. If you tell it not to do the family chart, well, then it just won't do it. There's no chart. It'll just go, right, okay, here's the details about the people. So if you don't want the family chart, well, then there's nothing really left to do on this chart. Now this one about include family chart also for individuals without a partner. So like I said, if they don't have a partner, oh, let me go back and just say one thing here. Family charts are only generated for people that have their own family section. If they don't have a family section of their own, where they're the main person, then this it wasn't applied to them. So, and who gets a family chart is all determined on this individuals to include, which we covered, I believe, class 1. And this, and it's typically you have it on, you'll only create a family section for people with children or spouse. So for this, I had to put it to all individuals to get certain, to get this, so that everyone would have their own family section. So, so this person, I mean, Jack here, well, he was 2 days old. So obviously he never got married. So this one is like, okay, he doesn't have a family chart, a family section. He doesn't have a chart. If we do tell it to include a family chart for individuals without a partner, let's go back here to Patrick. Well, okay, now he will have one, but you will also notice he still doesn't have a partner, but basically it's just his parents' chart, where here's Patrick right here. Then here's his siblings, here's his parents, grandparents. It won't just do a standalone chart with just him, his parents. Well, include photos and include private, whether they're private photos or not. That just determines whether or not there's photos in the family chart. I didn't do an example of that, but that's just whether or not you want those photos. It will shrink the boxes some, because as you can see, these two people, John and Janet, don't have pictures, but it keeps them all the same size. So if you don't have pictures, it will shrink the boxes, which can save, as you do many generations, it can save space. Include empty branches. What that is like if you got someone who you don't know who their parents are, see here, we got people's names. Let's see here. Yeah, so like, okay, here if we go with Caroline with her husband, okay, we don't have who, I don't have his parents in the tree, so there's no boxes. If I do, yeah, zooms in the way. If I do this, say with, here's back to Caroline. So here's like the case of the empty boxes. So it does fill them in even though there's no information, but that's what turning on or turning off the empty boxes would do. That's with the empty boxes turned on. This is with them turned off. Include grandparents for all individuals. So because you can see here, I had the option to only show well, here's grandparents, you know, Jack and John and Jackie, parents, grandparents. Subsequent, I had it just show only the parents. I didn't do it. So basically it will show the grandparents for them all. So let me just go down here. So here, Edwin, of course, this is with the empty boxes on. And the same thing with Carolyn, you know, but basically it shows the grandparents for everyone. And if you tell it not to do the grandparents for the starting person, then yeah, then see here, you see John and Jackie and then their parents. So it all depends upon how many you want them. The person identifiers, if you notice on here, let me zoom this in. You'll see John has a 1, Carolyn has 2, 3, 4. These are the person. These are the person identifiers, and what they are is 1 is okay. This is the numbering system. This is a descendants book I'm doing. So John is number 1. So here's John. You know, Jackie doesn't have a number, as well as either their parents, because they're basically not in this particular book. Jackie doesn't have a number because, well, she's not a descendant. But then here's Caroline, John, and Patrick, 2, 3, 4. So that's where they get those numbers. And then if you don't want the identifiers on it, well, then those numbers are gone. So, but it refers to these numbers, and it all depends upon what numbering system you're using. I'm just using the standard registry format in this book. And then whether or not to use color coding, that just all depends on if you want to display these colored dots. And this just follows whatever the color coding is in your Family Tree Maker. And as I said before, you know, Family Tree Maker will even create a color coding legend based on how you got them. So it explains what each color does. So that's the family chart. Does anyone have any questions before I go on to the photo album area? Be sure to unmute yourself or put it in the chat if you do. Okay, if not, I'll go on to the photo album. Like I said, this family chart area is pretty straightforward. So for the photo album, and this is probably one of the most misunderstood or ones we get a lot of questions about, especially when it comes to these filters, especially the include filter. Sometimes, oh, well, I want, just these pictures included, um, it doesn't work that way. But anyway, to determine first, if you want a photo album area, and let me just go back here and explain just what the photo album area is. After the person, here's their information, blah, blah, blah. Then down below, after all the information, the notes, the children, here is the photo album area. And this will be the media that's assigned to the couple, both John and Jackie. So this is the photo album area right here. And every family section will have it if there is media to be printed there. So if you don't want the photo album, then there just won't be any pictures. That's all there is to it. I mean, other than the profile photos. Profile photos are done in these sections, but if you don't do a photo album, no pictures. And like I said, if you're just starting out a book and you want to get the sentences down pat, so that the data is right, I'd say just forget about the photo album initially and then worry about the photos after. This just on doing the drafts. But anyway, then these just tell, okay, what type of pictures do you want to do? Images linked to a person. That's this area right here. Let me just start up. Let me just start up another instance so I'm not going in and out of. Here, I can do this tree. This one doesn't have a lot of media. But this way, so I'm not going back and forth. Okay, so images linked to a person are media that's in here on the tree tab. So this is all the potential media that can be printed. Or no, I'm sorry, correction. Let's go to the person tab. And media. This is all the media that's attached to the person. So that's what that will do. If that's not checked, then none of this media will print. Images linked to a preferred relationship. Okay, so for this, you'd click on relationships, do the spouse, and then, okay, you can have media that's actually tied to the relationship. Now, this isn't tied to a fact, it's tied to the relationship itself. Images linked facts. Let's go back here to facts. Okay, so this well, that's tied to a citation. I may not have any that's tied strictly to a fact. These are all tied to a citation. But if you had you can add individual media directly to the fact. These are tied to a citation, but you can also add them straight here to the fact itself. Images were set as a portrait. Now here, you can see John F. Kennedy. Let me just. Okay, this person has, well, it looks like their obituary that's tied to the, to their profile photo. So if this is checked, then this will also print down in the photo album area. If this is unchecked, oops, then this will not print in the photo album area. It will still print as their profile photo. And typically I never would do that. I'd probably do more, yeah, like this one. Yeah, this makes more sense. Now this picture will not print unless it's attached to other people. You know, just that profile, but this whole picture itself would not print. That's what that does. Images linked to a preferred spouse or partner. Well, that's kind of like this one right here, images linked to a person. Because since it's a family section, it will do stuff for both to both people of the party, to both couples. These are all tied to citations. We'll get into that. Okay, and then right here, images linked to sources or source citations. So if this is checked, then for this person, you know, not only is all this media going to print, but then so will for his wife here, this Kirsty. I probably butchered the pronunciation. If you also tell it, because these are all citation medias. You can tell by this little icon down here in the corner. Include private. This is whether or not, you know, the media has been marked private. You know, you might mark it private because you don't want it, say, if you sync your tree to Ancestry, but you still want it, say, in your book. So that will do that. Avoid duplicates. So if you got a photo, let's just say this photo, and I'm not sure if this, I'm zoomed in too much. I can't get to the usage. If this photo, for instance, is attached to multiple people, which typically it is, like I said, this is a test tree, a research tree, so I don't always get it. But assuming this person is attached to Selma, Grandpa Peterson, Grandpa Borseth, and Hilda, if this is unchecked and all four of those people are in this book, then that photo will print with all four of them. If you have avoid duplicates, it'll only print once. As I'll show you here, I did. Let me see, which one was that? Oh yeah, I did that, Caroline. Yeah, because I did this picture right here. Because this is JFK, Jackie, and then Caroline and the son. So here is printed with JFK. Then, but like Caroline, it's not printed with her, and it's not printed with John F. Kennedy. If I didn't have it check avoid duplicates, then this same picture would have printed. It wouldn't have printed twice because it was attached to John and Jackie since they're in the same family section. But this photo would have also printed then down here with Caroline. Well, it may not have printed Caroline if I had if I had this unchecked, which was set as portrait. Since this is the portrait I use for Caroline, it wouldn't print down here. But then that picture would have also shown with John if I had the avoid duplicates unchecked. And then the list related images is that image is duplicated. Then it will give the reference. So let's just get down here. John F. Kennedy. Then here it says, now, okay, there's more figures. Page 13, figure 8, JFK family portrait. So it just gives you a reference to that. And then this is now, and then here's what will print underneath these images, because you can see they got various things. For most of these, I had to include the caption name. So the caption name is not the file name, but if you put this down, okay. So here's the caption name, which, let me just finish shrinking this back down. Which in this case kind of does correspond with the file name, but this does not have to it does not have to be the same. So it just prints just the caption name. The description, well, in this one, here's the description. So that's what it would print. For the date, it'll print, well, whatever the date is up here. And now this is a misnomer, because just because it's a date, you can literally type in whatever you want. You know, I could say, and that would print because it's just a text field, but that's not a valid date. And that can go into play if you're putting dates for having it automatically sort by date. But anyway, so I'll print whatever's there. And then notes, I'm sorry, is, each photo can also have a note. If you're wondering, like, maybe between description and notes, it's not much difference other than, I used to know the lengths. It's like description, you're limited to like 2,000 characters. Notes, it's like 1,000,000 characters or larger. So you got a lot more space there. So, but that's what those fields refer to when it prints. And so like here you can see, John F. Kennedy. So here, like, candy wedding cake, and then this was the description out, thinking these have got notes. Here, see, these are ones that have got dates. This 1943. This one, like Family Tree Maker has a thing, if you manually add the photos, it'll put the date and time. And because it added a time, that's not a valid date. Because it's just month, day, year, or day, month, year, or just a year. But like I said, that goes into play in doing it. But that's just basically what will print underneath of it, and you can pick. Okay, here's the main thing is like, okay, let's just say you tell, okay, I want as much media, I don't want the portraits. But let's just say, I really don't want, I want like most of the citation media, but, censuses can be hard to read because, it'd have to be a full page, and, you're maybe only interested in 2, 3, 4 lines. So you could say, okay, maybe I don't want it to print, I want to print sources citation, but I really don't want it to print census media. And these are media that you've gone into, uh, the media tab and categorized. Um, and said, okay, categorize, yep, that's a census, and you can select multiple items to categorize. And like I said, say, okay, those are census. Okay, now those three would not print. Like I said, this different tree. Um, but you can say, okay, I don't want census. So now any that you flagged as census will not print. A common thing is I do is like, you may have a bunch of photos, but you don't want to print them all. So I will also categorize some, and now I just create a custom media category like do not print. So it's like, okay, it's a nice photo, but for this, I just don't want to print it. So just do that, do not print. But now let's just say there are some, maybe, yeah, the vast majority of the census images you don't want to print. So you say, okay, I don't want to print any census images, but maybe there's one or two I do want to print. So let's just say maybe there's like some really, say this one right here. Let's just say, there's some really important information on this particular census. So it is, still marked as a census, but you could, let me just add a thing like say, okay to print. I can add this okay to print. So now it's got the category census here and okay to print. And now if I say go here onto this include filter and say okay to print. Now let me just get rid of that photos for right now. Okay, so this include filter is actually an override for the exclude filter. So even though maybe it's got census or it's in the category of census or do not print, if it also has this okay to print, then it will print. So so include is strictly an override for the exclude. Because like I said, for what you want to print, it's right here in this include section right up here. You tell it what type of media you want to print. Oh, yeah, I didn't cover this one thing. Include only images linked to included facts or source citations. What this applies to is, let me just go into this John here. Okay, for instance, he's got, like some arrival information. Okay, that's on the 1920 or like, and let's just say I'm not interested in printing the residence facts. If you don't print the residence facts, then these citations attached to that residence fact won't print. That's what this include only images linked included facts or source citations. And where we include that will be next week's class, because that's where we pick which fact types we want to print. So that's what goes to it. If you have it unchecked, then as long as that's attached to them, whether or not we print the fact, it will print if that's unchecked. Okay, use link types to sort out elements in photo album. And Stefan might have to do, if I believe I understand this, so I didn't verify it with him. So hopefully he'll step in if I do it, because I'm going to refer to the manual here, because this goes into the sort order for images, because it will basically follow this. It goes by the media type, then by date, contents, file name. But I believe that applies to if that is checked, because let me go back here. Because if that is unchecked, oh, yeah, sorry. I got to use this one. Yeah, see, the census images will appear kind of in the, well, just kind of how they are in order, date-wise, stuff like that. They just kind of appear with the other media, which kind of, I should have brought up another Kennedy tree. But that's with this unchecked. If you have it checked, then that citation media gets lumped back together, which I believe goes back to this, because it's because it will more follow rigidly this, where it's okay, first the facts attached to the people, then the facts, then the relationships, then the sources. So it having that check kind of more rigidly follows this structure. So hopefully, yeah. And then the other option is like showing large images first in the photo album. I did a sample. Well, you saw. Go, let me go back to this one. Well, if you tell it use enlarged items first, here I took this one picture and I used the media category to make it bigger. So since that became first. Where otherwise, without it, here it just kind of, it's still enlarged, but it's just back into the normal sort order. So so that's really it. I mean, there could be a lot more going into like how to actually sort, but that's that could be a class unto itself. But basically you can just pull up the media and you can arrange the media. Like I said, you can drag and drop it, or you could use these arrows to move it. You can also just tell it to auto sort media. And sometimes if you're having trouble sorting it, maybe just tell it to auto sort first, because that will just kind of do away with it and then put it the order you want. So, and like I said, you'll notice these three didn't do it because these are Word documents. And I didn't apply the categories to make them print. So, but are there any questions? Kind of a shorter class.
So How do you put pictures in the front page and in the marriage, between them, the marriage pictures in?
I'm sorry, can you speak up? I couldn't quite make that out.
Right. So I'm looking to put a picture on the front page, under the name. You've got a,
You mean this picture?
yeah, how do you do that?
Oh, this was covered on previous one, because that is all on the title page here, you know, because you can add media.
Yeah. And how do you put the wedding photos on a marriage on a chart?
Wedding photos, that is from the manual. You basically add it to the marriage fact or the relationship fact. Or you can assign it to a person and use the media category. It's like, well, here, let me, oops. Because that is, let's resize. No. Actually, I know. Go back to this appendix because I love this appendix. Because there is Family Chart Center, page 35 of the user manual. This kind of explains it right here, you know. So basically, you know, if you add it to the marriage fact or the relationship fact, or if it's not attached to it, you just use this category, FBC Family Chart Center. You assign that media category, and then that's how that is assigned. So here in this one, let me just, you know, there's that photo. Whoops. View media details. And of course, I reduced the resolution of my screen. Yeah, so see here, see I added that custom family tree maker fact type to it. So that's how it got put there. Even though it's just attached to the person. So
Thank you.
yeah. Yeah, if you haven't downloaded that, definitely go to the Family Book Creator Users group. Then in the featured post, look for a post from Stefan, because he always posts, you know, whenever there's a new version. This first link here takes you right to the FBC's websites, the download area. So you select your version. I believe most people are running 2019, so pick whether it's the Windows or the Mac. Then this first link is the user guide. I highly recommend downloading that. It's very well written. And like I said, I absolutely love the appendix, because especially with those custom media categories, if nothing else, print out these 2 pages. This one, because it handles all the custom Family Tree Maker media categories you can do special things with, gives a brief description, and then the page number. And then if you're looking at it online, you know, you click on that page number, like I said, to your Family Chart Center, it takes you right there.
Yeah.
So, or if not, you just flip to that page, and then this last one even has some custom Family Tree Maker fact types, you know, the same thing, you know. So I highly recommend downloading this, and even if you print it yourself, you know, it's only 111 pages. I mean, yeah, it's depending upon your printer, but like I said, if nothing else, print out that 2-page there, because it's well worth it, you know. Or, you know, and usually, and then just looking in the categories, and this is all from the table of contents too, you know, it really does cover everything, especially when using descriptions, styles, formats, charts. So yeah, and Charlene said, yeah, to be included by default, the wedding media just needs to be linked to the marriage fact or mark the photo, yeah, in there. If you have more than, say, one photo attached to the marriage fact, you could still use that category to say, okay, this is the photo I want to be in the center. So, are there any other questions? Well, if not, we will call that good for a day. Like I said,
John, I do have a question. How much is the Family Book Creator?
Family Book Creator is, well, let's go back to, well, if you order it, well, there's a 20% off, so it's, well, this is in US dollars, so it's 60 minus $12, so it'd be about $48. That's US. And then you can also get it from Software MacKiev. And I'm not sure what their current price is. Last time I checked, it's actually cheaper to order it directly from, with this 20% off code. It's generally cheaper. But otherwise, that's in the gift collection area. Yeah,
She just passed it.
okay, so yeah, so it looks like it's about the same price, whether you order it directly from
Okay.
Family Book Creator or Software MacKiev. I don't know if during Roots Tech they'll have a sale, I guess.
Are they planning for the 2024 edition for Family Tree Maker?
There's actually already a fact on that, and I did post that in the users group. But that's something good on the Family Book Creator. Just check the site, and there is a fact. So if you have Family Book Creator 2019, that will work with Family Book Creator 2024. There will be a Family Book Creator 2024. It won't be a free upgrade, but if you do own 2019, you get it for what, 50% off, I believe. And what new features 2024 will have? Well, whenever they make an announcement, that will say it. But you know, there is a fact on it right here, so can go to it. Yeah, 50% off standard product price. So it'd be like $30 to upgrade to Family Book Creator 2024 if you want to. But like I said, Family Book Creator 2019 will work with 2024.
John, I believe it does say depending on when you purchase the license of whether you get the
Yeah,
50%.
there is a thing. Yeah, it depends upon when you did get it. Like I said, this is all in the FAQ. Because yeah, there was. I don't know. I'm not seeing it right now, but but like I said, if you got any questions, just email
Well, right there
FBC
in that
support.
last line there, it says Family Book Creator users who purchased a license for Family Book Creator in 2023 or 2024 are entitled to get the upgrade for
Yeah.
free.
For free. Yeah. So if you purchase Family Book Creator 2019 and last year or this year, you'll get the license to 2024 for free. So
Okay. So you'll get the whole upgrade for free.
yep, according to the SPAC, yep. Randy Howard said, well, he still hasn't received the email for Family Tree Make 2024. Contact live chat. So are the image settings all saved in the save settings too? Every single setting on the book items will be saved, correct? Randy Howard said, yeah, it's like when you save your settings, you know, that will save every single setting, you know, on every single tab, including the title, colophon, or that's assuming if you do the default save, because it will ask you if you want to save it in the Family Book Creator settings. That's the standard. If you want to save it in like the 2017 format, it still saves all your settings, but it doesn't save these 5 pages. So, but you know, basically, if you just click Save Settings, then yes, it does save everything on every tab. So.
But John, if I save my 2019 settings and then I buy 2024, is it going to use the 2019 settings or do you got to start all over again?
Well, until 2024 comes out, I can't tell you. I can tell you from when 2019 came out from 2017, they are separate products. So what I did is I saved my 2017 settings and then I brought them into 2019. Because when you load the settings, it will detect either settings. Because like here I got settings old, so these are like from 2017. These are like 2018 settings. So like I said, I don't know exactly how 2024 will be, because like I said, it was just announced. I've never seen it, and there's no I have no timeline as to when it will be out. Stefan is the only one that can answer that question. But like I said, I would count on saving your settings and then bringing them into 2024 whenever that comes. That's what I'd plan on. But like I said, I flip between my books, so I always save my current settings anyway. So, because like I said, I've got my Kennedy settings loaded for this one, and like I said, and you see, I'm playing with everything, and by the time I'm ready to do one of my own books, it's like I'm going to be loading up those sentences for my Hall book, my Waller book, my Fossbender book, you know, and I've got numerous extended branches in my tree, so I've got all sorts of different settings, and and mostly all these settings are the same, but it's like they'll definitely have a different title page. They usually have a different dedication page, and maybe even some stuff I might even change in here.
John, I would think that, you know, just like FEMA Tree Maker, that he would set this up, that if you save your book in 2019 or basically any recent version, that you should be able to bring your book into the new version.
Well, yeah, like I
mean-
said, you should be able to load in the settings. I'm just saying the settings won't automatically transfer.
I would think he would have all that though, unless there's a new
Well, like I
setting.
said, until 2024 is out, I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
Yeah,
All I can do is go based on what happened when 2019 came out from 2017. Because
yeah.
these are separate products. Because the 2019, I can still use 2017. I can bring in that. I can still load up Family Book Creator 2017.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I wouldn't want any setting I change here to affect my 2019 settings or vice versa. These are separate programs, separate plugins. So,
John, you just brought up, I'm glad you just went to that example. So when it comes to that home page, I realized when I went to do a test book on my husband's, I had, you know, the title page uploaded. So that means now how if I have a title page already filled out for one surname and now I want to do a book for a different surname without deleting, how do I get the default back again without deleting the other title pages? Wait, I think I confused.
well, like I said, I generally save the settings, but like I said, I also covered this in another class. You can also just individually load and save those pages. You can individually open and genealogy, family book creator. Here we go. Because like I said, you know, I can load in, you know, my Fossbender, you know, I'm still using those Candy settings, but you know, here's my Fossbender title page, you know, here's my Waller title page.
Oh, so you okay? So,
So
you
you can,
actually individually saving every single one of the 7 things at the top.
well, 5
Index, title, forward.
title code. Now you have that option. Like I said, you can also just save your settings. Because saving and loading the settings, and that's usually what I do. So I can just say load settings. Okay, I want to load my haul settings. Because then there's my haul, there's my dedication, you know, but then like if say if I go to load my you know, my Waller settings, then there's my title for the Waller. I've got different dedication.
So if you only had one book and you save that title page and dedication page, and now you want to do a second book,
probably what I would do is I would just save the settings and leave it, you know, as the family name or whatever you want to call it.
So if you
Or
save,
and
if you
then
save
and
the
then
settings,
and then change the title page, dedication, will change whatever of these 5 pages you wish, and then you can save those settings as your other family line. And then if you ever do go back to say, okay, it's been 5 years, we're having another family reunion, I want to update this book, you can just load up that previous family's settings.
Okay, so you do have to manually delete you manually delete it.
Yeah, because like I said, okay, let's just say this was my first book,
John,
and I
may I
want to do
interrupt you?
something.
Oh, there's
On the-
Stefan.
Yeah, it's also possible to use the restore text button on the top right of the editor, right? Then you get the default text back.
Right. Yeah, because I can just do this. And this just kind of brings it back to, okay, this is the default
then you
text. So
get
then
back
you can
the-
rebuild it the way you want.
Exactly.
And Stefan did in the chat did
Okay,
confirm.
thank you.
Hold on a minute.
Stefan did also confirm that Family Book Creator 2024 will allow you to load the settings from previous versions. So
Awesome. Thank you, Stefan.
are there any more questions?
Oh, I think I had one. Going back to where you had the settings. It says go back where you were, where you showed the settings. What we were just talking about.
Oh,
Yeah,
these?
right here. Okay. So you save the settings. Okay. Now, is that on the load settings? Is that where you bring in whatever you had before?
Yes. This is where you load previously saved settings.
Okay.
And I've got lots because I've got lots of extended branches, and like sometimes from the group, some people will send me their settings because they're having trouble. So I say, well, send me your settings. Just likewise, if you email
Okay.
support, invariably they'll say, well, send me your settings.
Okay. But that's for the whole book.
Yeah, that's saves the settings from every single tab.
Okay. But if you're doing it in like just the title page, you were saying.
Yeah, you've got the option of saving or loading just the title page. You can save and load these pages if you wish.
Okay, so you go to that save button and name it and blah blah blah. And you
Yeah,
can
so
open
it's
it
like I
by
could
clicking
save
on the
this and,
folder.
you know,
Okay.
yeah.
I like the idea of saving each piece so that and then putting it together.
Yeah,
Having each piece
it
broken
does have the
down.
advantage because, you know, even as I go through, and I've created numerous books, but you know, sometimes I'll say, you know, maybe I want to tweak this setting or that setting, you know.
Mhm.
You know, maybe I want to start using the person ID. Um,
Mhm.
you know, and then it's like, then if you go back to an older book and load those settings, well, that would all get released. It'd go back to however it was when you last saved.
Mhm.
Yeah, so sometimes just saving these will be easier. And like I said, sometimes what I will do is when I do change it is I'll save them in the old format because it won't save those 5 pages. And I save that as yeah, my new master, I call it. And then
Okay.
if I ever do it, I'll like, okay, I'll load up my Walter settings, but say, okay, I know I tweaked some settings. So now I can load my new master settings. So now I'll know I got all those settings changed, but it won't affect these 5 pages. But then what I'll turn around then do is now then save it in the current format, and so I'd resave it. So then next time I know it, I know they've got those same settings. But it's kind of hinky way of doing it, but like I said, sometimes it's just easier just to save and load these individual 5 pages,
Right.
It's lots of ways of doing the same thing, getting the same thing accomplished. So
John,
yeah,
would you or have you posted a link to all the class recordings on the Facebook, on the book users page? Or do you
yes,
email them to people? Okay.
I don't email them, but they are on the Facebook page. Because whenever I do post them, let's just yeah, because this sometimes,
Could you pin them at the top?
well, they are, well, it's,
John?
yeah,
John, sorry to interrupt you again. Just point to the user guide help section, so one of the first chapters, and there's a link to your page. Just scroll up.
oh,
click on
that's
help.
right, yeah,
Click on help. You can just, yeah, okay.
yeah,
But if we don't have the book,
yeah. Well,
where do
yeah,
we?
it's there. Otherwise,
Could
yeah,
I haven't purchased the book yet, so I'm
well,
just kind
No,
of.
it's
I'm
nothing to
talking
purchase,
about
you just
the
download
Family
it.
Book Creator Users Guide. And
Yeah, that's what I'm
everybody,
saying. I
But
don't have that.
you
in
can
the
just
feature,
download it.
in the feature post here, June 4th, 2020, there is a link here to the YouTube thing. This is the YouTube channel, and then this has got all the videos.
Where was that, please? Where was that, please?
It's in the featured post section.
Okay.
And look for my,
Okay.
yes, June 4th,
Okay.
2020.
Okay.
But like I said, I do post
Okay.
the links. I do post the links. I posted a link. Here's the class 1 recording, class 2, class 3. And in each
Where?
class, in the
Where?
Family Book Creator Users Group.
Okay.
And
John?
John, I'm not sure, but it sounds like from some people from within the Family Book Creator program itself, can't link to the user guide.
Yeah, see, I have not purchased this yet. I'm just looking to see by watching you, John, whether
Yeah.
I really want to purchase it. Now, since I have not purchased it, I cannot download the user guide.
You can always download the trial edition and the user guide. I'm going to paste the link in the chat, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like I said, if you're in the group, just look at one of Stefan's links right here. There's the link to the download area.
But you can't order, say, a user's guide book, correct?
No, but you can, if you've ever used Lulu, a lot of people have used Lulu. You can actually, it's actually set to, I'm going to stop sharing. And.
But you don't need to order the user guide because it's free.
No, it is free, yeah. And then let me just turn off blur. It is set to print, you come up with a cover, so you can get it printed if you want.
Through Lulu?
Through Lulu. I mean, you upload the PDF, you design a cover, and you can have it printed. Or, like I said, you could take it to a local copy shop to print it if you don't want to print it on your printer.
So can you put it on a thumb drive and take it to a copy shop?
Yeah, usually they just want it as a PDF format. So,
Okay.
depending on where you are, this is formatted for A4, which is like European rather than 8.5 by 11. But,
So it's bigger print.
now, well, I think it's like instead of 8.5 by 11, it's like 8.3 by like 11.7 or something. So it's basically 8.5 by 11. The dimensions
see.
are just
I
slightly
see.
different.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
So, But like I
And
maybe-
said,
that's the advantage of printing it yourself. You can make the font whatever size you want and just increase the pages.
yeah.
Okay,
like
I
I
haven't
said,
seen where
anyone can go to
Stephanie's put
Family
the
Book
link in.
Creator site, and like I said, you can go to, you don't know, download, there's the user's guide. And even that, you can download this, and then this will work in trial mode for, I don't know, is it 14 days or 30 days? Well, let's see here. Well, yeah, or just go here, download, and then, yeah, trial edition. It does have some limitations, but you can see how it works. Yeah, for a limited period of time. I'd like to say it was 30 days, but I wouldn't hold my breath to it. But you can actually download it. You can download the user's guide, and you can try it to see. Like I said, it does have a
John?
few. Yeah.
I think you or Stefan just said that you were gonna post the link to your videos for the class sessions or the
Yeah.
audio to the chat. Have you done that yet?
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, Stefan
well,
was supposed to do that.
here's the links. Like I said, it's in the group. So, and okay, yep. Stefan just downloaded a bunch. Yeah, the links to the manuals, to the Facebook group. So, yep. So yeah, Stefan just posted all the links. So. And then, like I said, if you follow the thing, you can even just get notified, because you can click on subscriptions, and then you can see. And don't, because clicking subscribe doesn't mean it's going to cost anything. It's just a way of, okay, these are certain
Yeah, because when I tried that
people
the
I
other
want to
day,
see.
and I didn't like it.
And then, well, like I said, you can click on subscription, and then you can just see videos from those people that you subscribe to. But yeah, so here you can see, here's class 1, class 2, class 3. And then later on today will be class 4. And like I said, in the Facebook group, I will post, here's the link straight to the class 4 video. And then I always include the link to the YouTube channel itself. So
are they also on the regular YouTube channel?
these are public videos, so anyone on YouTube can view them.
Huh.
So like I said, by subscribing though, you can limit it just to, they're easier to find.
We're doing, yeah.
I mean, unless you subscribe to like 1,000 different channels, but so,
Hey,
yeah, are
thank
there any
you.
more questions? If not, we'll call it a day, and then hopefully we'll see you next week. In which case I'll be going over the primary partner and the 2 child sections. It's 4 tabs, but these are kind of, it's all basically the same. It's just what applies to each one of these. So,
John, I thought you were skipping next week for RootStack, no?
no, that's the following week.
Oh, the following week, sorry.
So next week's the 23rd. So that's when we'll be doing this one. The following week, which is what, the 1st or the 1st, that there will be no class because RootStack is going on. I'm still not sure if I'll actually be in Salt Lake City or not. But so February 23rd, there will be a class. March 1st, there won't, but then we'll resume March 8th. And then these classes will go through the end of March. So we'll be ending on March 29th. So. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
okay, let's